The wildlife conservation short film The Last Ranger has been nominated for an Oscar, marking a significant achievement for the South African film industry. The film has been nominated in the Best Live Action Short Film category at the prestigious Academy Awards. Set against the backdrop of the Amakhala Game Reserve, this is in the Eastern Cape, The Last Ranger tells the story of a young Xhosa girl, Litha, who works with female game ranger Khuselwa to combat rhino poaching. The journey takes a tragic and unexpected turn when they are ambushed by poachers, leading to a battle to protect the rhinos, which of course uncovers a devastating secret. So we've got in studio with us the director of this magnificent film, this short film, Cindy Lee. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I mean, you must be floating. I wouldn't.
Ridiculous. That's why I haven't slept for about a week.
Please don't come down to earth. I would imagine, because I watched that, I don't know who posted it, probably Anele, because she's so good at those things, putting a clip of all of you when you heard your names were going and it was nominated.
Yeah.
What is that feeling like?
It was so stressful, you know, because now, when we were shortlisted, we didn't watch together. We all watched on our own because we didn't expect that to happen. But now when we're up for a nomination, they insisted that we all get on a call and watch this live.
Come on.
You just, honestly, you don't know what to do because it happens so quickly. Suddenly they went, and the live action short film nominees are, and then they start doing an alphabetical order, and I'm suddenly trying to remember who the other films are, and then all of a sudden they call your name, and you're like, what?
What a feeling.
No, it was incredible.
I mean, that is a moment that will be resonating with you for the rest of your life, no doubt, incredible. Not to mention what lies ahead of you, because this is now going to be the Oscars. They're coming up. You going?
I know, it's crazy. I know, and suddenly, like, my diary is filling up, so that we're going to a Woman in Film talk in New York, then a Woman in Film, because it's also, I'm very proud that I'm a woman director. Yeah. The film is mostly, it's all women leads. Even Tundi's a woman rhino, female rhino.
Oh, so, good, well done.
I'll lead
You
rhinos.
Found a rhino woman, and
female,
lovely, whatever you call them. Yeah, exactly. So you're going, I mean, you're going into this world, and it is, I mean, this is huge for you, because this is not something, basically film is the only language you speak. Let's not kid, from when you were a baby. I mean, your mom, the legendary Modine Lee. I wonder how she's shining down and smiling on you right now.
It is so bittersweet because my brother wrote the screenplay and he's also in it. So the two of us are going to walk the red carpet together. And it's all my mother ever dreamed about. So, but let's not, I don't want to...
No tears today. This is happy stuff. This is really, really happy stuff. So, I mean, talk to us about this, because either when you grow up in an industry like this, you either fall in love with it, or you actually like, oh man, I live this, I don't want to do it. Did that ever occur to you? Obviously not. I mean, you sat on stage floors and movie sets your whole life.
Yeah, and my mom was so passionate about it. You know, she believed in the South African industry from the very beginning. And she wanted this industry to be successful, and she did everything she can. You know, every time there was a big film cast in South Africa, she would insist that they put South Africans in the lead, even if she lost that battle. Like Long Walk to Freedom, she really wanted Nelson Mandela to be played by a South African. So it's something I've always been incredibly passionate about. And this proves that the world wants to watch South African stories. I mean, this says it all, because it's an isiXhosa film. And you cannot make this film anywhere else. It is uniquely South African. And we are now one of the top 5 films in the world going into the Oscar nominations.
But give us an idea of how many short films are actually nominated or in the running for it. Because
well, 180 films make the long list, make the Oscar long list. Then they vote down to 15 in the short list. Then 5 get nominated.
Incredible.
I know, right?
I mean, this is the best of the best in the world we're talking about. So
exciting.
You really, you and your team need to be exceptionally proud about this. But where did the idea come from? Why did you want to focus on particularly the rhino poaching, the Last Ranger, the whole idea behind it?
Well, it sparked, my brother went to school with the vet who actually saved Tundi's life. So the rhino in our film is based on a true story. Tundi was poached, 3 were poached in 2012, 1 survived. The vet that saved Tundi's life went to school with my brother, Dr. William Folds, and my brother was with him a while back at the site of a real poaching. And my brother was so devastated, he said to Dr. Folds, well, what can I do? And he said, well, go back to Hollywood, do what you do, write a story. We have to get it out there. The world has to know that 1 rhino is being poached every 15 hours in South Africa. You know, and documentaries are made and numbers are put out there, which is, I mean, huge shout out to everybody that's doing so much incredible work to shine a light on what's happening. But the power of film, when you tell a story that is so emotional, people then, their hearts are wide open. So by the time the statistics come at the end of the screen, at the end of the film, people absorb the numbers and they realize the devastation of what's happening.
Yeah, and it does. I mean, because when you're actually watching pictures and you're understanding and you're feeling it, even in the comfort of your home and in your privileged life, but you actually see what people are going through on the ground. I mean, these actresses are just phenomenal.
Yeah.
What was it like casting this team and working with them?
Well, I must say, I mean, South Africans don't have the biggest pool of actors, if you like compare it to America. Now I'm looking for actors who speak Xhosa, so my pool's just got a little smaller, and then I'm looking for an 11-year-old child.
Yeah.
So I was very nervous, to be honest, because we saw a lot of auditions, and we never found this kid in the beginning, and the entire film rests on her shoulders. And then Leabona Morakosa sent us a self-tape.
Oh, wow.
And when we saw that, she was crying, her depth, her emotional depth, her understanding of the role, and she's never acted before.
Can you believe it? This is personal. So what I'm gathering here from everything you've told me, I mean, from what your brother told you, from the story, the deep connection, this is, I mean, it is a true story. I mean, you know, whether it's not based on true actual event, but the reality is this is the life that people are leading, and everyone involved in this is very personal about it.
Yeah, and I mean, we're very fortunate in that we had our vet on set with us. He was the one who darted the rhinos, and then we tracked the rhinos.
Yeah.
He helped us do all of that because we used 2 different rhinos for the film. So he was there with us. It was very emotional when the rhino was darted and went down because it reminded him of the day he found Thandi. So he was crying, I was crying, the actors were crying. Yeah. You know, we had 20 minutes to shoot the rhino after they did their procedures because they weren't darted for us. They were darted because they had to do a medical procedure on the rhino. And then we had about 12 minutes to shoot each scene with the rhino. So we're all trying to get rid of our tears and pull ourselves together and do the shoot. So.
But you know, the one thing I respect so much, I remember watching a short film last year, and I made my son sit down and watch it with me. I cannot remember the name of it, but it had to do with, and I think it was also not nominated, but it was about a man walking in the streets of London, and his children were stabbed, or his wife and his daughter were stabbed.
Wow.
It was also nominated for a short film, and he was like, "Oh, but this is so short," and we watched it, but we walked away. And that impacted us more than lately, where these days you've got to sit through a 3-hour epic drama, which you kind of lose focus and everything. But when you have 28 minutes to get a message across and to capture every moment you want to in a short time, that is pressure on another level. I mean, I have respect for short films like nobody's business. I mean, that must be difficult.
It is, you know, it was to try and, because we have so many different arcs in these 28 minutes. There's what's going on with Leabona and her father, Litha and her father. There's what's happening with the gogo. Then there's we've got to build their relationship very quickly because you've got to fall in love with them in the first 10 minutes of the film.
Exactly.
So that when this drama happens, your heart's got to break, not just for each character individually, but for what could have been. You know, we've got to set up the idea that she doesn't have children, Chrissy doesn't have children, the rhinos are her children, then Litha doesn't have a mother, so there's this connection, then they lose that bond, then she hands over the baton to go and look after the rhino. Does she take that on? Then there's a lot going on.
There's so much. And there isn't season 1, 2, and 3 to do the same.
Exactly, right? It's 28 minutes. It's a one-off.
I mean, it is insane. Okay, can we get a little bit more excited? Because now we know. We got to watch this. So where do we watch this?
Well, we can't actually watch it at the moment. That's we're just waiting. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, but it's
coming. We will. There are going to be places now where it's going to start streaming where people can watch it. So I will post about that as soon as it happens. They're busy negotiating where's the best place to watch it.
I mean, I know there's hundreds of snippets of it. So if you really want to watch that, please do. So let's just talk like we girls having a cup of coffee now, because you're going to the red carpet, the Oscars, the Academy Awards. This is mind-blowing. Who are you sort of really looking forward to seeing? Okay, if there's one person you could choose to say, I just want to sit down and say hello to this person.
Geez, I haven't, you know what, don't.
You haven't even thought about it?
I haven't even thought about that, because you know why? Because originally they have this Oscar lunch, the nominee lunch, and then I heard it was cancelled because of the devastating fires in LA. Now I think there's a smaller version, but they have to do it because they have what's called a class photo every year where all the nominees are in the same room. I can't believe it. And
best actress, best actor, so
everyone is supposed to all be in the same room, and then you have your class photo.
Man. I don't know how you stay
I haven't even
composed.
thought about that yet because I can't. I mean, I
Yeah,
can't.
but you've just got to be
I'll miss
very
my
calm.
plane.
Got to take like rescue or something just to be there. Like, you know, I'm not excited.
And then not just that, but I mean, we walk the red carpet.
Yeah.
We're in the main auditorium when they announce it. If our name gets called up, all I'm going to be doing is
screaming and crying.
Yeah, because I screamed so loud when we were announced that no one else could hear a word. So I must just make sure I don't do that on the day.
Yeah, just please compose yourself. Not too much though, because we want to train for the right reasons. Go up
and
there
we are South African.
Exactly,
you know?
we are not exactly known
quiet
to be
people.
composed. So if you you are going to write something down.
I mean, I'm sure
You're
with the
not gonna be one
short
of
films,
those
I mean, there are
people.
4 of us going up, and I'm sure everyone's going to want to say something.
Okay, so you've got to write it down. I'm just giving you a
all I
tip.
know is I'm going to just shout out South Africa. I know that, I know for sure.
Oh, man, I'm holding thumbs. When is it? Beginning of March, isn't it?
It's the 2nd of March in LA. I think it's 3 a.m. on the 3rd of March or something ridiculous.
Okay,
in South Africa.
we better see. But believe me, we will be broadcasting, and that will be the first thing we'll be waiting and watching
so
for.
excited to be
And if you win, please answer your phone. We're going to phone you.
Okay.
And just see how you're feeling. The last time South Africa was in this position, and please forgive me. I mean, I know Tsotsi did incredible stuff.
Yeah, Tsotsi won, and then the Octopus Teacher won Best Documentary.
Octopus Teacher, thank you. That was I was racking my brains to figure that out. The Octopus Teacher.
That was the last win, as far as I know, other than Tsotsi.
So. I don't know. I mean,
we've had a couple of shortlists and.
But actual nominations and wins, those were the 2 wins.
I think those were the 2
and now we got
wins.
you guys there.
Yeah. I think I could be wrong.
This is going to be incredible. Absolutely amazing. We wish you the best of luck. Oh, and by the way, you also got selected for something for the Berlin Film Festival. I'm not looking at
that was another show, not this.
No, this is something different. What's that?
That was a TV series I did called The Morning After, which has been selected for the Berlin Film Festival.
That's amazing.
TV series,
by the way.
Yeah.
I should have looked at the script. I'm sorry, I haven't even looked at the script. I did read it before, but then I got completely sidetracked. Director of the Oscar-nominated conservation short film, The Last Ranger, Cindy Lee, in studio with us before she darts off to the States, where she's got a whirlwind agenda. And this will culminate on the 2nd of March, where hopefully South Africa can scream with pride once again as we walk away with that Academy Award. And more importantly, and honestly more importantly, raise huge awareness about a very troubling situation in South Africa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thanks
Thank you so
having
much.
me.
Pleasure.
Thank you.